In Carolina, with their second round pick, you knew George Seifert had to look at defensive line where they were really long in the tooth. Mike Rucker, Nebraska, to the Panthers.
Well, there you see him in the Senior Bowl against Derek Fletcher from Baylor. That's where he did his damage. Had a couple sacks in that game. Not tremendously productive during the season, although he did come on late. So you're looking at a guy 250 to 255 pounds, and the key will be how will he hold up against the run in the NFL without having ideal size. He's tall, he's rangy, may need to put on a little weight, but late in the season he came on, and that Senior Bowl effort moved him up from maybe a mid to late 2, early 3 into the early second round area, Chris.
You go to Nebraska's Mike Rucker, a guy who can get after the passer, but from an NFL standpoint, maybe a tweener. Talk to us about where you expect to play him and what he'll do in your defense.
Well, it's, as with any athlete, I mean, he does appear to have very good movement and would be a good pass rusher for us. And until you really work with him, it takes a little bit of time to figure out where his actual strengths will be in the overall scheme of things. But we do have the ability to play either a true 4-3 or what we like to call an elephant defense, the type of defense we used when Charles Haley played for us in San Francisco. We can play that with Rucker, I'm sure, and then we'll see if he can actually play a true 4-3 style of end as well.
Makovicka, a fullback who was an academic All-American and a very good performer on the field as well.
Well, you know what you're getting from a Nebraska fullback. He's not Tom Rathman. He's more of a Corey Schlesinger type. You see him here, tough kid. He'll break tackles. He'll come back for more, and the kid loves the game. Here's a blocker, gets out, and that was an outstanding block against Dat Win. Here again, see the quickness downfield making a block. You know, he really does a good job, Marty, as a pure fullback. He can catch the football, but you know you're getting an outstanding lead blocker, a very experienced lead blocker with Joel Makovicka.
Well, you know, the thing that I find interesting about this guy is I think that he becomes an outstanding pass protector. This is the thing that I think will be utilized in this offense. He's a guy that brings toughness to any football team. And, you know, I think when you get right down to it, at the end of the season, you want tough guys.
Yeah, he goes to that building Arizona Cardinals team. Joel Makovicka, who told us before the Holiday Bowl loss to Arizona this year that it was his dream one day to even be considered for the NFL draft, goes early on day 2. A dream realized for a former walk-on who is a brilliant student and a very proud Nebraska Cornhusker. For 2 years in Nebraska before he became a performer. We've talked about a few of the other players along the linebacker from Nebraska. Had some productive days to the Cornhuskers defense. The son of Chuck Foreman now makes the second generation in the National Football.
Jay Foreman from the great bloodline of the Foreman family. His dad, a great player in the league. We thought he's an outstanding football player at Nebraska University. Everything's worked out quite well for us.
An offensive tackle spot. We've had Andy Heck move from tight end to offensive tackle. It's not a difficult change in terms of position for a kid like Mike Lucky, who's an experienced blocker and has that frame to carry additional weight.
The pick of Sheldon Jackson came by Buffalo, and Buffalo has now picked up a couple of tight ends in this draft.
And they needed him, Mike. You know, they had Jay Remersmer, who's more of an H-back. Now with Remersmer, you bring in a Bobby Collins from North Alabama, and then you add another tight end to the equation in Jackson. So I think John Butler knew going into this draft he had to come away with not only maybe one tight end, but with the depth and the equal grade of a lot of these players, there's not much difference between a 7th and a 4th.